Hello, everyone. I'm Ross from Hive Business, and this is my colleague Simon, who's our chartered tax expert.
Hi there.
We thought, sorry, we thought we'd very quickly make a video today for a very specific opportunity that's possibly relevant before the budget that's going to occur on the 3rd of March. So we haven't spoken about crypto too much, but behind the scenes, we've got a strong evidence of experience in the industry. I've personally invested in crypto since 2017. Simon also has as well in 2020. But there's a very, very singular and important reason why you might want to take some action on the tax planning on your crypto before 3rd of March. Simon, it's probably best if you kind of frame the problem, because there's a lot that kind of I think people aren't aware of with crypto taxation.
Absolutely. I think, crypto, although it's a new class of asset, from a tax point of view, it's got the same considerations as any kind of asset you might have. Now, plenty of people might think about the tax implications of how they perhaps purchase a property or stocks and shares or things like that, but people don't seem to be thinking about what might happen from purchasing crypto, and particularly with the massive gains we've seen in the past. Well, in the past couple of months, it's at least doubled in value, and it's kind of been on an upward trajectory since the beginning of 2019 when it took a bit of a dive. But that leads to all sorts of problems if you bought anything, more than a couple of months ago.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, like I say, we haven't really spoken about the tax surrounding it, but we've been doing a lot of planning on it for a number of our clients, probably for the past 6 months or so. But yeah, it's that kind of it's that massive possible escalation in price. Well, we've already had an escalation in price. If you were fortunate enough to buy in 2017 at £1,000 a Bitcoin or whatever it is, you could be sitting on 20 or 30 fold increase at the moment, couldn't you?
Absolutely. I think today's price is around about 25 at the moment. By the time you watch this in a week, it could be double again. I mean, that's what we saw in the last month. So certainly, like I said, if you bought anything within the last month, you're almost certainly sitting on some gains, which could be liable to tax. And actually, within UK tax, there's several ways that could be taxed, and it all depends on your activities regarding crypto. Are you mining it? Are you holding it for investment? Are you using it as cash in your business? All these things have different implication on how the UK tax system might treat your crypto.
Yeah, I think we're going to talk a little bit about the detail of tax probably in another video. But what we've certainly found is that, with the nuances of both the tax world, but also how people might be holding it, and certainly what their own personal intentions might be for their crypto. Some people might be looking to hold it forever. Some people might be looking to cash in a little bit and take a little bit of profit at some point in time. So what we have found is that you really need to kind of craft the solution to your own personal circumstances. Having said that, there's one singular important reason why you might want to think about something in the next month, though.
Yeah, I mean, you've already mentioned the date, the 3rd of March, we've got a budget due. Now, we all know what we've been through over the last year or so, perhaps not quite a year, but the upshot of that is taxes are going up. We've spoken about this a bit over the last few months. One of the main things we are expecting is an increase in capital gains tax. Now, for those of you that are holding Bitcoin as an investment, that's the area of tax you're concerned with. So 3rd of March, capital gains tax rates are almost certainly going up. I would be surprised if they go up, or if they don't go up to nearer the older levels of kind of 28, 30%. The government have received recommendations from their own internal kind of tax bodies to align capital taxes with income taxes, which could be as much as 40%. Personally, don't think we'll see that this time around, but we're heading that way, and there's only 5 or 6 weeks until that's going to happen.
Okay, so what? I mean, are there any countermeasures or?
Simplistically, capital gains tax is relevant to Bitcoin that you're holding as an investment, and the trigger point for when there might be any tax on the profit you've made is when you sell it. Now that gives you an opportunity to try and realise some gains before the 3rd of March by triggering a taxable event. You know, tax isn't inherent in it just because you have it, but there are things you can do to trigger a tax charge at today's rates.
So I'm personally hoping on you know, a nice increase in value 2021 as we go through the kind of usual Bitcoin cycle. You know, other cryptos apply as well, but that, you know, that's the problem. If I want to kind of realize a little bit of cash towards the end of the year, let's say, but the tax rate's going to go up on the 3rd of March, you're saying you can kind of dovetail together like a pre-trigger event, but you take your cash later.
Yeah. So there's you know, you can trigger a tax charge on today's profits at today's rates, which means any profit you've already made. And like I said, if you bought it in 2017 where it was £1,000, you know, you could be sitting on a 20-fold capital gains tax profit, which you could tax at today's rate of 20% and just only be at risk of increases on any further gains in value from 3rd of March onwards.
Yeah, and bearing in mind as well, what about the annual exemption? Is that going to go? Or?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment there's a £12,000 annual exemption, and there's a recommendation to drop that right down to something nearer maybe 3,000. I know a lot of people's strategy who are thinking about tax on crypto is just to recognise a few gains each year, just to use that annual exemption, because that is tax-free, and that's a sensible thing to do. But that's only a sensible thing to do while there is an annual exemption.
Yeah.
Going.
Great. Well, as I say, it's very difficult for us to give anything more specific or anything kind of binary because it's always going to be built around your circumstances. So, best thing you can do if you are sitting on a healthy holding of crypto and you are thinking about this thing, get in contact. Email address hello@hivebusiness.co.uk. Thank you very much.
Thank you.